What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's looking promising, you guys. It's looking like we might have this little bullish endeavor after all. We didn't get the move up yesterday, and that's fine, right? I wasn't necessarily expecting it, but with the newfound bullishness in Bitcoin today, and across the markets, it is completely possible that we could validate this as some kind of fake out maneuver here to the downside. I would really like it if we could close above 14.37 cents. If we can close above there today in the next 7 hours, that would be phenomenal. If not, it's still not the end of the world. I suppose, we don't have to close above there today. If we're making progress and then we continue to close tomorrow, that's fine. But the sooner the better. The sooner we need to do this with a haste, right? That's fake outs are not some kind of long drawn out process. It's a haste, right? If you look at this high here, when you closed above it, you were ready to go, but it was a fake out. You moved back down immediately. Inevitably, you did move up. That happens too. But this was a fake out right here, and you move back down, but it was immediately. So we want to see that kind of quickness occur here as well. But we need to get above 14.37 cents to validate that. I suppose one could look at it as the wicking low here. If we do get above 13.7 cents, maybe there's reasons to get excited. But I want to go off of the closing lows, not the wicking lows, not the February 3rd crazy manic scariff Monday lows, right? If we're looking at the daily RSI, you are bouncing off the 35, and you don't really seem to actually care about your 40 too much. I mean, you did for a time. You found some support and some resistance here. You don't really seem to care about it, really, like throughout your time frame. This 35 area seems to be a little bit more significant than anything, but even then, it's not that significant. Your new chart, you're figuring yourself out. You're getting to know what areas you like and what you don't like. And what we're looking for today is a close. And if not today, tomorrow, 14.37 cents. We need to close above there. If we do, why that's important is that it would begin to look like this is some kind of fake out, right? Some kind of fake out pattern to the downside. And fake outs oftentimes are met with robust movements in the opposite direction. I know this doesn't seem that robust when in the face of something like this, but if we're honest with ourselves, from a high to a low, that was a drop of 32% in the course of like 4 days. I don't know about you guys, but I don't care if it took 3 weeks. I would take a 40% move or a 30% move. That's fine with me, man. 30% move, something like that, would definitely help validate this as a fake out pattern. And then we would also be, instead of breaking out of this overall consolidation phase, which it looks like we've done, we'd actually be back inside of it. And a move like this wouldn't be out of the question at all. Something from the low to this area, around 40% of a move, because we probably do find turbulence around here. I would expect we find turbulence around 1.8 cents, something like that. I think closing above 1.8 cents on a daily basis, 2 days in a row, not just one day, but 2 days in a row. If we can close above, again, to invalidate any notion of a fake out, or help invalidate it at least. Anything can happen still, even if we do close 2 days in a row. But if you close 2 days in a row above 1.8 cents, I would say confidently this is the low. Right now, I'm hopeful. I hope that it's the low. I hope we don't go lower. If we do, I actually kind of hope we don't. That this is not the low, and that we do go lower, because if we do, I'm going to buy some more, and I would love to buy some more Cookie DAO. This is one that I'm very excited about. I think it's going to do phenomenal on this next phase up. But if you want to absolve going lower, we need to close 2 days in a row above 1.8 cents. Okay, that's what we need to see. We can go above 1.8 cents, and we can come back below it. That's fine. But when we close above it, we don't want to start closing below it again. Okay, we can. What I mean by that is, if we close above this line and then we wick down and find support there or something, as long as we're closing above this line, I'm not worried. Okay, above 1.8 cents. But that's a little bit of a ways away from here. From the current price, that would require that Cookie moves up about 30%. And I know that seems maybe like a hard ask over the next 7 hours, or even over the next couple days. But Cookie DAO, you guys remember, we were in this same price area here, and it moved up a total of like 400% in the course of from the same price 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? So we can move up in a very, very short amount of time when we decide to. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we start this off kind of how we did last time, where we get an initial pop. I don't know, how much was this? I don't think it'll be exactly like this, right? From a low to a high, but 242%. We could get an initial pop that's overall like over 100%, something that does take us above these highs. That would make sense to me. Maybe we find resistance right here at these lows, so that would promote, hey, like 190% pump. Maybe at these lows here at about a 265% pump, something around this area, we could find resistance in these prior areas of support. I would expect we get a rather eruptive move, and then from there we probably consolidate a little bit, and then we continue to grow. And where are we going to continue to grow to? If this is the low, and I'm not confident that it is, but I accept it as a possibility, right? Accept it, and I'll be more confident if we can close 2 days in a row above 1.8 cents. Okay, but if that is the low, the minimum target expectation is more than a 10x away. It's at $1.41. A 10x from here would be at $1.37. $1.41 is the minimum target expectation. And I have a hard time seeing something that's finding support, as immaculate as this looks, finding support at your prior weekly closing highs. Very good, structurally speaking, very just sound looking chart and strong looking chart, especially if you get that kind of reaction off of it. I have a hard time seeing you stop at your minimum target. After all, let's just see here. From this high to low, you stopped here. You stopped basically almost right at your 1618. You went all the way through, right? You can see it. I know there's a little bit of noise. It might seem odd, but you didn't stop at your minimum target. You didn't even say hello. You said goodbye as soon as you got to it. You went through your 1-4-1-4, and you just missed your 1618, your kind of maximum target in this primary target zone right here, okay? We bring back this fib here. I would think you don't stop at the 1272. What's the next target? Well, in accordance to this fib and this fib here, the 1414 and the 1886, they come in line together here. The 1886 up here comes in line very well with this 2272. It's completely possible that Cookie from 13.7 cents right now could be on a path to $1.80 to maybe even prices that are above $4. I don't know if we're going to get above $4. In fact, I do think that we would probably stop somewhere around 270 or 230, somewhere in that area, at least around $1.76 is what I'm thinking. Okay, something like that. But that's phenomenal growth, guys, in a very, very, very short amount of time. From this price here to that price there, what I would accept, not the minimum on the fibs, but the minimum in my heart, not in my bias, but in my heart using logic. I think it's logical. Logical? That's crazy. That's a 12x move. That's a 14x move from the low. What's logical about that? I don't know, man. I mean, from a low back here to a high back here, we saw a 42x move. So I don't know what the problem is, right? I'm not calling for, if I wanted to be crazy, I could say, look, this is a bull flag. We're going to see a 40x move coming. And we genuinely could see. That's the thing. You don't want to hear, if you don't want to hear a 14x move or a 13x move, you definitely don't want to hear me saying that we could do a 40x move or more. We could. We really, really could. Cookie Dow's on Binance and Coinbase. And if it's pumping now and it's got none of that selling pressure left in it, and it's getting recognition and it's got acceptance and it's available for everybody to trade, whether you're in America or wherever in the world, that could cause a much bigger pump than what you saw last time. However, I doubt it, because oftentimes exchange pumps, exchange listings are the biggest pumps. So I think it will be smaller. In that aspect alone, I doubt that we would see really anything above 450. Right? Because I think it would be a smaller move overall. And this would still, at a 36x, be smaller than a 42x. But genuinely, I think 273, something around a 22x to $1.76, something around from the low, a 14x. That's different than where we are at the current prices, right? But something like that is what's on our way. I very much do believe Cookie Dow is on that path right now. I shouldn't say I do believe it's on that path, but I accept that before we go there, we could drop lower. Okay, we're on that path, and that path could entail that we go lower first and then up, or that we just go up. Either way, we're going up. You know what I mean? Like that's going to happen. No guarantees. None of this financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm pretty damn confident in this thing, right? If you're going to invest in this coin, if you like how I'm talking about it, or it stands out to you, do your research, right? Look into it. Tell me, be able, have the ability, the confidence to be able to talk to someone randomly on the street, and if they ask you, what is Cookie Dow, that you could just tell them, right? And maybe you don't have to know everything, right? I don't know how a car works. I couldn't build a car myself. Some people can, and good. I wish I could, man. That's a really cool skill, actually. That's a really important skill. I think more people need to have some mechanical capabilities. Not everybody has that outlet, though. I think in schools, guys, like really, like how we have shop class, there should be like an auto body class for everybody. Girls, guys, you're all required to take it, like to some degree, some basic level, but that's a whole different conversation. All I'm trying to say is, I forgot what I was trying to say, honestly. All I'm trying to say is, whether we go down, whether we go up, I'm very confident that we are near our lows and that Cookie Dow has a lot of growth to go. I feel like I forget what I was going to say, man. There was a point that I was making, and I did not complete the thought. Something about. Oh yeah, I was saying that I don't know how a car works, but I still know how to drive it. I could still explain to somebody how to turn a car on, how to turn on the heater, use the windshield wipers, the signals, and all that. I could talk people through it, right? You don't have to know everything about Cookie Dow but you should at least be able to walk people through how it operates to some degree, right? You should be able to talk to a stranger and say, oh, this is what it does, this is what it is, and this is why I like it. Not, I heard it could go up 20x. I heard it could go up more than that. It's at 13.8 cents now. C-Zar, this guy on YouTube with a funny name and a beautiful shirt and an even more beautiful face and eyes of a, I don't know, I guess a mud pool. I got the muddy eyes, the brown eyes. He said that it's going to do 100x or more by the end of the cycle. That's why I like it. No, that's not good enough. People are going to look at you like you're like special, but not the good kind of special, right? You should be able to tell people what it does, right? Do your own research. If you're going to invest in this coin and you have no idea what it's about, do your own research, figure it out. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm just a chart monkey. I'm not that guy, okay? I've tried doing, and I have done fundamental videos before. I just find them boring, okay? I have to write a script down. I have to write down the notes. It takes more time. I like to freeform my stuff. I don't like to, and sometimes the scripted ones are nice. I know you guys appreciate them to some degree as well, but there's a plethora of people out there that talk about the fundamentals. Ivan on Tech is one of them. By the way, shout out to Ivan on Tech. I give him shout outs all the time when I talk about this, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know this thing existed. And probably by extension, a lot of you wouldn't know it existed either. He is not King Midas. He does not know everything. He's not the smartest person in the world, but he is a smart cookie, that's for sure. No pun intended with Cookie Dow here. And you know, he's pretty good at calling projects out before they actually see some crazy growth. I mean, he was bullish on this thing even back down here before it saw 40x. So that put it on my radar, right? Coming back down and finding support here gave it, from a technical perspective, from my perspective, this is what interested me a lot, was that it was at a good area to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but we still could drop down to 8 cents, even below 8 cents, somewhere in this area. It's a very possible outcome. If you're buying here, you have to accept that outcome, but I wouldn't be worried about this move. I'm not worried about buying here and going lower. I'm worried about not buying here and missing the next move to come. This is the move that I'm worried about missing, right? Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But that's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Oh, you know what? I want to do this real quick. I do want to do something real quick. I've been doing this for a couple cryptos today, and I want to see. I'm curious because I haven't done it for Cookie yet. Bitcoin USD. All-time history index, Cookie Dow. We'll do it on Bybit. Yeah, sure. Give it to me. Let's go. So it's on log, but it's not logged. It, for some reason, it just won't let me log, but that's okay. I don't think that we need to. We don't need to log. Oh, this isn't going to help us. It's not going to help us because we don't actually have a lot of data versus this, right? That's okay. And we won't be able to input. Maybe if we do BTC, I still don't think this will help. We just don't have enough data, and that's okay. Whatever. Right, so this chart, if it goes down, that means Cookie Dow is outperforming Bitcoin. Let's just see what we might get here, okay? This is how many cookies one Bitcoin gets you. So one Bitcoin buys 605,913 Cookie Dows, okay? From a low to a high, if we do go down lower, and I think that we will, let's just see what we've done before already. Hold on, from a low to a high here. Went down right to our 1414 area, just below the 1414 or just above the 1414, right through the 1272. If we did that same thing, maybe it's worth 54,800 Bitcoins. Let's just do that, okay? So 54,800 Bitcoins is what gives you one Cookie Dow. How would I do that? Or maybe would I do 1 divided by, maybe that's what it is, sorry. 1 divided by 54,800 Bitcoins. What price would that give us? No, that's not. I don't know. How would I do that? I'm drawing a brain fart here. I'm better at math than this, I swear, guys, but why can't I do this? If I want that, I wouldn't divide it by 1 because then you just get the same price. To 1 Cookie Dow, what would Cookie have to do to see that? I don't know. Let me try and do this real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna just like write down what I'm looking for, right? Because we've got, if 1 cookie equals, what was it? 58,000, 54,000, 54,800 ETC. That doesn't tell. That's not enough information to derive that, right? But right now, I don't know. Maybe somebody who's got a better math mind than me. I'm just drawing a blank. I feel like there is a way to derive the price here, but I'm drawing a blank on it. Bitcoin would have to lose in that aspect. It would have to, or not have to. It doesn't have to do anything. but it would lose 91% of its value versus Cookie, which would mean Cookie does about a 10 and 11x versus Bitcoin. Well, hey, so if it does an 11x from here, from the current price, okay, well, we can run with that a little bit, I guess, right? An 11x from the current price would put us all the way up at, right? And the reason why I know that, so if, let me just put this in perspective real quick. From a high to a low, 91%, 90% is a 10x. So if you go from the price at 90% of a drop and you go all the way back to that high, that's a 10x move, okay? 91% of a drop, which is what we're essentially providing versus Bitcoin there. That would imply that we get an overall, let's see, what would that be? That would be an overall move that is at about an 11x. Yeah, so an 11x. I was right. I didn't know I was right, but I was right. Okay, so an 11x. 11x move, and if it goes more, it goes more, and that's fine too. But an 11x move is 1,000% essentially, something like that. From a high to a low, where does that put us? Nope, from this low over here, my bad. That puts us just above the 1272. I don't think we stop there, man. I really do think, Cookie DAO goes further than that, right? But versus Bitcoin, I think that we can at least make sense out of that, right? I've got nothing else for you guys. That was a poor example of my math showcasing abilities, but I promise, man, I can do calculus. I know how to do differentials of equations and stuff like that, but and find proofs for functions and all that kind of stuff. I know all about that stuff, but I am drawing a blank right now. I'm not remembering whatever formula that I need to derive the right numbers. I'm boring people at this point, so I'm gonna end the video. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Cookie DAO's about to rip. Even if it goes lower, even if we get the dip, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about missing this rip, so I will hold. I will buy more, and we're looking for a price to close above 14.37 cents by the end of the day. That's the goal. Okay, bye bye.